everyone, and welcome to The Take. I'm Elizabeth Wagmeister.
And I'm Clayton Davis, and we're here to give you our take on some of the week's biggest stories. We have so much to talk about today. We have JayZ, we have The Rock. It's a big music edition today, it seems.
It is. I'm sure you never thought you'd say the word The Rock along with the music edition, but that's true. And speaking of JayZ, there's also Beyoncé news. And what you told me about JayZ and Beyoncé even surprised me. So I can't wait for you to tell everyone. But first, it's always a good week when you get to start off with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So The Rock, he has conquered the box office, he's conquered television, he's conquered wrestling, he's even conquered tequila sales, but now is he going to take on the rap world? Yes, you heard that correctly. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has just released his historical rap debut on a track with Tech N9ne. So I broke this news exclusively for us at Variety. I got the first interview with Tech N9ne and The Rock. Tech N9ne has his new album that is coming out called Asinine, and on there is a track, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson is featured on a verse, and this isn't like some hokey thing where he just, said a few words. He actually did a full-on collaboration. He wrote the verse himself. He took it very seriously. I mean, what do you think? Can The Rock now be a rap superstar?
I mean, why not, right? I mean, there's been buzz about him running for president eventually. I really want him to host the Oscars at some coming ceremony. Hopefully that will come to fruition. But it's a good change of pace, I guess, for his career, and why not add a Grammy nomination or something to his credit? He's been a megastar, and there's no reason for him not to, I guess.
That's true. I mean, he has proven that he can literally dominate anything that he puts his mind to. And I'm glad that you brought up that there was a time where there were rumors he might run for president, because when I spoke to Tech N9ne, by the way, it was such a fun interview. I said to him that if The Rock ends up being a huge music star, are you going to take credit for giving him like his first hit? And he's like, I don't even know, because I think he's going to be president. So that was probably my favorite part of the interview.
All right, we'll cross our fingers that maybe that's not so much in the works. But now we move to another part of music. The Super Bowl has announced their A-list performer set list, and it is incredible. It includes Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and Snoop Dogg, all set to take the stage on February 12th in the Pepsi halftime show. This is the first time that 5 performers have taken the stage together, and in a year where Los Angeles will be hosting the Super Bowl over at SoFi Stadium. This is huge. This is a concert I'd go to on any normal day of the week. But as we saw last year with The Weeknd taking the stage, to mixed-ish reviews, It would be interesting to see this get changed up a little bit and how this may factor for ratings, because I'm sure everyone's going to watch the game, but that halftime show everyone's going to tune in for.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm still nauseous from The Weeknd's halftime performance last year. No, I'm kidding. I did really like it. But I mean, this even makes me excited for football. And I have to tell you, I know nothing about football, but this is also a huge deal for the NFL because they have black artists taking the stage. And we remember it was not so long ago when a lot of black artists were infamously kind of boycotting the NFL. Rihanna, she reportedly was asked to perform at halftime, and she said no because of Colin Kaepernick. So this is a big step up for the NFL. Big, kudos to these performers for taking the stage. But I also have to give a shout out to LA, my hometown, where we are. I'm actually seriously excited for the Super Bowl this year.
It's going to be great. But one of the artists that wasn't named in that lineup, JayZ, but that's because he may be an Oscar nominee by that time the Super Bowl airs. The Harder They Fall, the new film from Netflix, premiered at the London Film Festival to pretty outstanding reviews. JayZ produces the film along with James Samuel, who writes, directs, produces, and scores the movie. It is a fantastic outing for a debut filmmaker. You have Regina King, Idris Elba, Lakeith Stanfield, all delivering outstanding performances, could factor into the awards race. But what's interesting is JayZ writes many of the tracks on the soundtrack. There are 16 original songs in this film. And as we saw with Black Panther and Kendrick Lamar, which got nominated for Album of the Year a few years back, this could follow a similar fashion. But JayZ may be nominated for producing and songwriting, which would be interesting because his wife, Beyoncé, you might have heard of her.
Once or twice, yeah.
She has a song in the film King Richard that's a heavy contender. This will be the first time that husband and wife have gone against each other in any Oscar category in history. Talk about ratings for the Oscars would be
Seriously.
through the roof.
I was going to say, if the Academy could do itself any favors, it would be to nominate both of them, because that's a way to get ratings up. Award shows are trying to figure it out. JayZ, Beyoncé, put them together. I'll tune in.
You have magic.
Just like the Super Bowl. But in more movie news, James Bond finally hits theaters today. This has been long delayed over and over and over again throughout the pandemic, and really no surprise here, it is already dominating the international box office. So it has made over $100 million internationally. It's actually the first film to go over $100 million without its China release during the pandemic. So these are legitimately huge numbers, not just by pandemic standards. Last weekend, Venom from Sony, that topped $90 million, and that was a pandemic hit. I mean, by all standards, it beat Shang-Chi and also Black Widow. We'll have to see if Bond beats that number, but obviously it's going to be a massive, massive success. It's also getting great reviews, but I know that you saw it. What did you think about it?
Listen, No Time to Die, and I'm not a James Bond enthusiast. I like the films, but I'm not one of those that lines up at midnight to go catch one. But I really, really enjoyed this. It's Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond. It's going to get a ton of attention from fans that are seeing the culmination of his era, his time as Bond, now over. But I will say 90 million for Venom matches 90-minute runtime. No Time to Die is 3 hours long. And if there's one criticism, and there's a few, obviously that it's maybe a tad too long. There's not enough Ana de Armas in it. She's in like one key scene that just is killer. And also Lashana Lynch, who's been rumored to maybe be the next 007 or be a spin-off. We don't know yet, but this now has brought about the question, who is going to be the next James Bond?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the producers behind the franchise, in a recent interview, they actually said they're not even going to think about that until 2022. They want to give Daniel Craig really his final bow and make that a big celebration. By the way, he just got a star on the Walk of Fame this past week, but I'm curious, who would you want to see as Bond? And I do have to note that one of the producers did say Bond is a male character. They want to see a lot of other female films, but probably not going to be a woman. I've seen Reggie Jean Page thrown out there, Idris Elba. I did see someone say Michaela Cole, but you know.
Yeah, also a little bit of a Friends reference here. Rachel and Ross, when they're discussing names of their baby, she says James for a girl, so it can't be a girl's name.
There you go, I love
and
it.
Rachel says it. My leading contenders are Daniel Kaluuya. I think he would make a fantastic James Bond, and also Kingsley Ben-Adir, who people may remember from One Night in Miami, which was Regina King's directorial debut last year. Those are my top choices, but they can always go to a woman, and I think Michaela Cole would be a great choice.
Me too. All right, well, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know your take on who you think should play the next Bond. And as always, we will see you next Friday right here on a brand new episode of The Tape.
Thanks for watching.